Guys, today we're back with some more Pokemon Sun and Moon news. Today is the 14th, and I said, that there was going to be some news today, and if anything, I would cover what's on CoroCoro from my CoroCoro video for October. If you haven't seen that, please do check it out. I said, because all we got was the first page on the 12th. We got like one single page. And then yesterday, the 13th, we got like 3 more pages. Really, it just talked some more about Jangmo-o's evolution and type Null's evolution. And I think the anime a little bit. And that was it. So I said, I would talk about it here, and I also predicted that most of the news from today would just be confirmation on all the stuff that was released during CoroCoro, and everything that was released in CoroCoro was confirmed, because that's usually how it works. Everything's released in CoroCoro is usually confirmed within the next few days, or whenever the next update is. And quick reminder that in 4 days, October 18th, you can get the demo for Pokemon Sun and Moon. So please do make sure, you get it if you want to play the game, because it'll probably be really fun. And we'll get to see how the starter evolutions are probably going to look like. And also, if you play the demo, you can download Ash Greninja into your actual game. So, other than that, let's quickly get started. Before we go to the Pokemon, I do want to talk about the Kahunas. So, most of the trailer was just 8 new Pokemon, 2 of which were Alola forms, and there was 2 new people that we got information about. One of which is a Kahuna, and another is a trial captain. So for those of you that don't know, Kahunas are on each of the islands, each of the 4 Alolan islands, and they govern the island. Kahunas are chosen by the Pokemon known as guardian deities, like Tapu Koko, which are also found on each island. So at first I thought that each island would have 1 Kahuna and 1 trial captain in reverse order, thus making it 8. By the looks of it, I think the Kahunas are supposed to represent the Elite Four. Not 100% sure. Maybe it'll just be like 2 trial captains, 1 Kahuna. I have really no idea how this is going to work anymore, because it completely throws off what I was thinking on how it works. But anyways, the Kahuna that we got information about, as you can see here, is Olivia. Olivia is the Kahuna of Akala Island, the 2nd island you'll visit on your island challenge. Her skill is extraordinary, as you can be expected from someone chosen to serve as Kahuna at such a young age. Yet she still insists that she is just a normal girl. And it is confirmed that she uses rock types. In the trailer, it shows her with a nose pass. So yeah, and then here, if you didn't know, the guy that gives you your starters, Hala also is a Kahuna, but that was confirmed a while ago. So yeah. Next, we have the captains. Each trial has a captain whose role is to provide guidance to trial goers. All of the captains are trainers who undertook trials in their own island challenge a few years earlier. And actually, that's one of the reasons why Team Skull is really mad. Most of them tried to become trial captains but failed, which is really interesting. But anyways, it was confirmed in CoroCoro that this new guy that we were told about, and I saw the name, I'm like, is this a Japanese translation? And just who is this? And I looked it up. It wasn't anyone I knew, and they confirmed it today that Captain Ilima, I believe that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, Ilima. I've never seen that name, but an expert in normal-type Pokemon, Captain Ilima graduated from the trainer's school and is a hero to the students of that school. So he just uses normal types. That's really it. Then here, we have the other ones. We have Lana, the water type, Captain Mallow for grass types, who I thought was originally going to be the first one, just because the first place is a forest. So. And then we've got Captain Sophocles, the electric type, and probably my favorite is next up, which is Kiawe, who is the fire type, mainly because of his Alolan Marowak. That's it for the captains and Kahunas. Now we can actually talk about the Pokemon. Starting off with the Alola forms, because, why not? Let's start it off on a good note. In CoroCoro, we got a good sneak peek at Alolan Grimer, and now we have the confirmation. It is still known as I think it's still known as the Sludge Pokemon. It's now not just a pure poison type, now it's a poison dark type, which is pretty interesting. It has the abilities Poison Touch and Gluttony, however you want to pronounce it. I'm not too big of a fan of this design. I mean, I kind of like the yellow beard kind of look, but I still don't really like the design, the color. I mean, like, I usually like the color green, but it just doesn't look right to me. But anyways, when the population of the Alola region increased, dealing with their garbage became a serious problem. As a solution, Grimer were imported from other regions. They fed primarily on garbage, so their body composition changed, as did their form. What appear to be the teeth in this Pokemon's mouth are in fact toxins from the garbage it eats. Residual toxins, there we go, which have hardened and crystallized. No method has been discovered to break down these crystals. Direct contact with them presents a danger. So you can't try to mine it for gold or diamonds, whichever. You can't get money off of it is what I'm saying. Alolan Grimer is always eating garbage, but its constant hunger will cause it to begin eating other manufactured objects if it runs out of garbage to feed on. There are more than 100 Alolan Grimer in Alola's garbage processing plants, and all of the garbage produced in the Alola region is taken for use as their food. So it's an interesting backstory. So it got its Alola form because they were imported and it took a lot of garbage in, which I'm kind of surprised that it didn't happen in all the other regions, but hey, whatever. I'm cool with that. And so, of course, if Alolan Grimer is a thing, that means Alolan Muk is a thing. And I actually happen to, so far, I kind of like Alolan Muk better, for multiple reasons. One, with the game footage, the colors like actually moved consistently, where Alolan Grimer, it's just stuck like this, you know, the yellow's there. But like here with Alolan Muk, it was constantly moving and flowing, and also I just like all the rock designs, and it looks more evil, I guess. So also the Sludge Pokemon, Poison Dark, Poison Touch, and Gluttony, and so that's, I mean, alright. Alolan Muk eats whatever is in reach without pausing, and if it feels the sharp pangs of hunger, it runs amok. Haha, no pun intended, I hope. It's the thought that its ferocious appetite stems from an inability to maintain its energy levels without a constant influx of toxins. Toxins have accumulated in Alolan Muk's body from its steady diet of various waste products and manufactured materials. This accumulation has brought about a chemical change, producing a new kind of toxin. Alolan Muk has the same poisonous crystals as Alolan Grimer, but they're not limited to its mouth. They extend from all over the surface of its body. Alolan Muk uses them to attack, just like other Pokemon use their fangs or claws. And these highly toxic crystals are easily knocked loose, making them extraordinarily dangerous. So again, you can't farm them for gold. The Grimer and Muk in the lower region produce and store their toxins within their bodies. So, unlike the Grimer and Muk in other regions, you won't detect an unpleasant aroma when you draw near one. So that's pretty good. I mean, like, I probably will not use Alolan Muk, or I've never really used a regular Muk anyways. But I probably won't use Alolan Muk, but it does seem like it's pretty cool. I mean, Poison Dark is a pretty good typing. I believe the only other Pokemon like that is, jeez, what's his name? Drapion. There we go, Drapion. Because ground types, I mean, still the same, but psychic types won't affect it, so that weakness is gone. And then there's fairy types, don't affect dark types. Well, I mean, fairy types are super effective to dark, but poison is super effective on fairy, so that balances it out. So it's a pretty good typing, I have to say. Next up, we're going to be talking about, actually, we have a lot of Pokemon here. One of which we saw in a way earlier trailer that everyone started saying that it was Cutiefly's evolution, and it was confirmed. But I do want to talk about Type Null, because that was the main point of today's trailer. Type Null has an evolution which is pretty wild. I thought it would be a solo legendary. I originally thought it was going to be a legendary. Not sure, it still could very possibly be a legendary. But it is known as the synthetic Pokemon, just like Type Null, if I'm not wrong. And it is a normal type. And it has a new ability called the RKS system, which is pretty interesting, I guess. And I gotta say, I do like its design, just like I like Type Null's design. But I think I like this one's better just because of the face. It looks much, much cleaner. Maybe it's because it's without the helmet. But we're going to get to that in a bit. Because when type Null gains a partner it can trust, it deliberately destroys the restraining device it wears. Once released from that heavy mask, the Pokemon's speed increases substantially. Freed of the restraining effects of its mask, Silvally senses are heightened and it reverts to its natural temperament. It has a wild nature, but it will obey a trainer that it trusts. And to protect that trainer from danger, it will put its own life on the line. Silvally is said to have been created to oppose a threat. I'm guessing it's going to be Ultra Beast. Not 100% sure, but I mean, that's what this game is all about. Or maybe Arceus, and we'll get to that in a bit. By inserting exclusive items into the drive on Silvally's head, its Arceus system can be activated, causing Silvally's somatic cells to mutate and glow. The Arceus system enables it to change its type, and its cells glow with different colors of light depending on its type. So, it sounds a lot like Arceus because it is a lot like Arceus, and by what glows, these like feathers can glow, they change color, which is similar to how Arceus on its back, it has that like ring or whatever that changes color based on its type. Silvally's ability is called the Arceus system. By having Silvally hold items that correspond to each Pokemon type, it can change its own type. Multi-attack is a special move that Silvally can learn, and its type changes based on which type related item Silvally is holding, similar to Judgment, which Arceus has. I mean, not too complicated. And also very similar to Genesect, I guess. I mean, it's kind of similar to Genesect. I mean, its design isn't bad in my opinion. I actually think its design is pretty cool. I like this design, especially because it's synthetic Pokemon. Maybe that's why. Its color scheme, pretty good also. Its ability, Arceus, however you want to pronounce it, yes. But yeah, it kind of sounds like Arceus system, sounds like Arceus system, or Arceus system, however you want to really pronounce it. And so I'm not sure if that is done on purpose because it's supposed to be similar to Arceus. I just want to see if they added anything here, and it doesn't look like they changed anything on type Null. I thought they really did. And I actually originally thought that the ability was called ARS system or something like that, which is again still similar to Arceus. So definitely I think like this Pokemon was made to combat against Arceus or something, because its ability is just like Arceus. Its ability sounds like Arceus and it has the powers of Arceus. So I think it is made to combat against Arceus, which I mean would be pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. But going on a lighter note, we're going to talk about Ribombee, or however Ribombee, something like that. And so this is known as the B5 Pokemon. It's Bug and Fairy with the ability Honey Gather and Shield Dust. This Pokemon is the evolution of Cutify, and it was shown in a trailer way back when. It was actually a Japanese trailer, so it wasn't in one of the English trailers. And everyone was like, oh, what is that Pokemon? It looks a lot like it could be Cutify's evolution. There we go. I'm still having a hard time memorizing a lot of these names. But it is Cutify's evolution. Ribombee collect flower nectar and pollen to make into balls known as pollen puffs. They serve as food, and what's more, they can also cause effects like paralysis or dizziness. Ribombee may use puffs to strike their opponents during battles. Some of the pollen puffs that Ribombee make also have relaxing effects or can relieve tiredness. These are distributed around the Alola region as high-priced supplements. Ribombee hate getting rained on. They're covered with fluffy hairs that hold the pollen they've gathered, and the rain makes them wet and dirty. Alolan people know that if Ribombee are busily visiting the fields of flowers, you can be sure that fair weather will continue. So that is pretty interesting. I mean, lighter note. So, I mean, the Bug Fairy typing is really the most unique thing about it. Same with Cutify, but not really too much to talk about there. Lastly, there's two more things to talk about, and that is Bounsweet's evolution, and in my opinion, the cooler one, Jangmo-o's evolution. As I said, the two last things that we have to discuss are Bounsweet's evolution and Jangmo-o's evolution. Jangmo-o's being, of course, in my opinion, cooler. Mainly that's just because, well, well, I mean, anyways. So Bounsweet's evolution, in my opinion, I'm hoping that Bounsweet has a higher chance of being a female than a male and not 50-50, for the reason that its final evolution is actually completely like feminine. And, you know, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I actually think that its ability, if I'm not wrong on what its ability does based off of the trailer, I think its ability is pretty sweet. And it's not 100%. It's not bad. It's not that bad. But I do think that it, you know, as I said in the video, I think the last trailer that was announced with the starters, that I think that some of them should have their gender ratio, the chance, swapped just because of, you know, how they turn out, whatever. But anyways, this is Steenie, I guess. It's the grass type. It's a fruit Pokemon, grass type, with Leaf Guard and Oblivious. Oblivious will not stay too long. I'm just going to say that right now. Well, here we go. The calyx on Steely's head is harder than Bounsweet's, so Steenie no longer worries about being stabbed by other Pokemon. As Bounsweet, this Pokemon may have preferred to run away from others, but now Steenie and the other Pokemon can play together. Upon leveling up, this Pokemon's fragrance becomes even more delectable, but it also gains a tomboy-like personality. Living together with one is quite the ordeal. As it moves around, it spins its calyx, striking nearby objects, but Steenie couldn't care less. Steenie unleashes combo moves using the calyx on its head and its hard legs. First, it smacks opponents with the calyx on its head, and when the opponents flinch, it lands a whacking great kick, and that usually does the trick. Really, I don't have too much to say about this middle evolution. I actually think that it looks pretty good. It's more of this that I have to talk about, and I actually have to say, the more I look at it, the more I don't dislike it. Like, at first, I thought, you know, where's its mouth? And its body kind of looks a little strange. But the main thing that, you know, caught me off guard was it looks a lot like Lilligant, which I'm not too mad about. It's pretty good. I just think that it should be part fairy type. And so this is Sarina. It's the fruit Pokemon, pure grass. I still think it should be grass and fairy, with the abilities Leaf Guard and Queenly Majesty. Queenly Majesty, of course, being a new ability that we'll be seeing in XY. And so, Queenly Majesty actually is a pretty good ability, in my opinion. Definitely going to change the battles. And I've got to say, I like it a lot. And so that's one of the main reasons I would actually want to use this. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it on my team. I mean, I'm still thinking. We haven't even seen the whole decks, but yeah. Sarina has the nature of high-class nobility. Any Pokemon or human that approaches it with an evil mind will be punished forthwith. It even turns its fearsome glare upon its own trainer if the two of them are not fully in sync, or if its trainer orders it to use a move that will be ineffective. Only the strongest of Tsini are able to evolve. When this happens, the Tsini evolves with the blessing of other Tsini. It then uses its strength to protect the Bounsweet. Sarina is a high-kicking virtuoso. It has owned these skills beyond the level it achieved as a Tsini, and it attacks with graceful movements. At the same time, its fragrance mesmerizes its opponents, dealing with a secondary attack. Trop Kick is a move that only Sarina can learn. It lowers an opponent's attack by showering it with blazing hot kicks, and is similar style to that originating from tropical countries. It's said that this Pokemon loses its strength if touched on the crown, like protuberance on its head. Some Sarina have the Queenly Majesty ability, which no other Pokemon have had previously. The effects of Queenly Majesty are so intimidating that it prevents opponents from using priority moves. So that is seen in the trailer by I believe, Bruxish, trying to use Aqua Jet, and it wouldn't work. So I'm going to guess that this thing is going to be a huge counter towards Lycanroc, mainly because if you're using a Lycanroc, especially if you're using, I believe it's the midday form, which has what, Excel Rocker or whatever its special move is, you won't be able to use that because of Sarina, because of its Queenly Majesty ability, which is actually probably so far one of my favorite abilities right now. In Sun and Moon, one of my favorite new abilities, I should say. So that's pretty cool. But on to my favorite thing right now, which is Jangmo-o. which are Jangmo-o's evolution. This is the middle stage, so it gets 3 stages, which is pretty sweet. And so I'm not mad about how this design looks. I actually think that's pretty cool. It's the scaly Pokemon, and its typing is what makes me really like it. It's a dragon and fighting type, which we have not seen before. Usually when it comes to dragon types, it's either pure dragon or dragon flying. We've had, what, a dragon dark, Hydreigon. We've had Dragon Fairy for Mega Altaria. I mean, there's a few other ones like Dragon Fire, Dragon Electric, Zekrom Reshiram, Dragon Ice, Kyurem. But I think Dragon Fighting is probably right now really, really good because ice types will do neutral damage because ice types are good against dragons, but fighting are good against ice. But it does have a 4 times weakness to fairy, which is really, really bad for it. But other than that, I think it looks pretty sweet. When Jangmo-o evolves into Hakamo-o, it breaks from its fellows and begins to live on its own to train itself. Wherever it can find Pokemon to battle against, it seems to appear. Hakamo-o dances before battle to show its strength, clanging its scales together to make them ring out. When this dance reaches its climax, Hakamo-o bellows a fierce war cry to challenge its opponents. Its scales make for fine armor, so Hakamo-o doesn't worry about self-defense as it makes multitudes of strikes and overwhelms its opponent. But as a result, its scales often become damaged and get torn off. They grow back immediately, so this does not cause Hakamo-o undue concern. In fact, it views the number of lost scales as proof of how ferociously it has fought, and it brandishes its bared arms in a boast of victory. So, I think this looks pretty cool, but I think its final evolution looks completely amazing. First of all, I love the tail. The tail's pretty sweet. And then just its whole body, it just looks so, so nice. So it's still the scaly Pokemon, dragon fighting. As I already mentioned, that's pretty good typing in my opinion. And this really makes me want to use one. I am so going to get one. I wonder if it's going to be similar to Hydreigon, where it's like level 65. That's when it evolves. Oh, jeez. I probably just jinxed it. But at the end of its harsh training, Hakamo-o evolves into this overwhelming, powerful form. It returns to the land of its birth, where it watches over the Jangmo-o from a distance. There is a legend that says Kahuna is covered in glittering scales in order to drive away a great darkness covering the land. The reason these Pokemon seek out battle is to gain the power needed to defeat this darkness. When it detects someone approaching, this Pokemon rings the scale on its tail to announce its presence. It has no desire to battle against weak Pokemon. Now I feel like Ash is going to get one. And then it's going to finally, fully evolve. And then it'll be like Charizard all over again. Jeez. Kahuna-o's greatest move is the uppercut. It swings its arm up from the bellow in a punch of great skill and force, sending its foe flying in the sky. By raising its arms aloft, it can generate a force powerful enough to change the face of the surrounding landscape. Clanging Scales is a move that only Kahuna-o can learn. It scrapes the scales covering its body against one another, attacking with a great clamor. After using the move, Kahuna-o's defense is lowered. So, I think I forgot to mention that his name is Kahuna-o, which, I mean, we all predicted that it would all... I mean, I'm not mad at the fact that all of Jangmo-o's evolutions end in OO. I actually kind of like that. But I am very happy that it's not what it was during CoroCoro. I'm happy that the translation changed it, because they were all like Jarararao. Yeah, I just wouldn't be able to pronounce that. So, Kahuna-o and, I already forgot this other one, Hakamo-o and Jangmo-o. And I think that they're all pretty good. And they're actually one of my top favorites now. I like a lot of these Sun and Moon Pokemon. But what I find interesting about Sun and Moon Pokemon so far is so many evolution lines have their own special move. It's not like we're getting a ton of new moves. It's more like each Pokemon has its own special move, which I find pretty interesting. And I feel like there's a reason for that. But like makes each Pokemon more unique, which is pretty cool. But other than that, that is it for this video, guys. So make sure if you haven't, leave a like and subscribe for as much as possible. I'm going to be posting, as much as possible Sun and Moon news. When the games are released, I'm going to go over the whole Pokedex. And that'll be it, I guess, for Sun and Moon coverage. Tell me, what was your favorite Pokemon today? Was it type Null's evolutions, Jangmo-o's evolutions, Bounsweet's evolution, Alolan form Muk and Grimer, or Cutiefly's evolution? But until then, see you guys all next time. Peace.